records, cassettes. I'm not a fan of records. You can't play them in the car. Unless you've got a very expensive system, which I never had at 18, they generally sound pretty rubbish. I like the artwork that came with them. That's great. But now we've got the internet full of photos and videos. I don't need the artwork. So in the bin. Cassettes, though, yes. There's something about this that has a certain nostalgia for me. Not just making mixtapes, but the ability to put it on in the car and listen to music, where I listen to most of my music on those horrible long commutes to work. I actually quite like the sound of cassettes too. There's an analogness about them which is different to records. Now, a lot of people don't understand that back in the day when we talk about analog, it was tape that was used to record the music, and then it went on to a record, which is technically analog. But something in that process got lost. It's technically hard to get into the ins and outs of it, but it's to do with equalization and all sorts of limitations on records. Cassettes didn't quite suffer the same thing, so it's from tape to tape. So you have that saturation tape vibe going on both the recording, the mastering, and then actually the end product. But at the end of the day, I just found these incredibly practical, not to mention a Walkman, and I've tramped for many months up all the hills and mountains around New Zealand with a player for one of these. Would I bother thinking about releasing our albums on these now? No. I do have some fresh brand new ones, and we happen to have a very old car that has a cassette player in it. So when we're driving, that's how we listen to our music. We don't Bluetooth from the phone and all that modern technology. There's something about what happens to our music when it goes on here. It gives it a certain warmth and vibe, which I guess is just nostalgic. There's no other word for it. It doesn't sound better, it sounds different. And so it takes us both back to our youth. There you go. I mean, what do you think? Do you remember these, or are you really getting into these? Is this something that you're discovering and loving? And I can understand if you are, and that's cool. I've got no problem with that. Personally, I think it's time to go in the same place as the record.